Good day, everyone. My name is Jenna Samacaroy. Today, I am going to tackle about culturally responsive teaching under Unit 4 Teacher-Student Interaction. So today, you will learn about culturally responsive teaching and why it is important in the classroom. To begin, let me ask you, what is culture? Excellent! Culture is indeed our way of life. It shapes how we think, speak, and learn. So now, let us understand what today's lesson is all about. Has anyone heard the term culturally responsive teaching? Culturally responsive teaching emerged from culturally relevant pedagogy, which is term created by Gloria Ladson Billings 1994 to describe a pedagogy that empowers students intellectually, socially, emotionally, and politically by using cultural reference to impart knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Another definition from Demrock and Go 2011, culturally responsive teaching or CRT is an educational approach that recognizes and honors the cultural backgrounds of all students. It seeks to create a learning environment where students from diverse cultural backgrounds feel valued and respected. By integrating students' cultural references in all aspects of learning, CRT aims to improve educational outcomes and foster a new inclusive classroom atmosphere. According to them, culturally responsive teaching is a way of teaching that respects and values the different cultures of all students. It tries to make the classroom a place where every student feel welcome and respected. There are key aspects of culturally responsive teacher-learner interaction. So the first one is building relationships. Teachers build strong, trusting relationship with students by learning about their lives, interests, and cultural backgrounds. Let's say, for example, a teacher asks students to share stories about their family traditions and use this to connect with the class. The second one is the relevant curriculum and materials. So, curriculum and materials are chosen or developed to reflect the cultural backgrounds and interests of all students. So, let's say, for example, in a reading class, the teacher includes stories from different cultures, including those of the students in the classroom. So the third one is the creating inclusive learning environments. So teachers create spaces where students feel safe, respected, and valued for who they are. So let's say, for example, the teacher makes sure everyone's voice is heard by letting each student share their ideas during group discussions. The fourth one is high expectations and support. So teachers convey high expectations for all students while providing the necessary support for them to succeed. So let's say, for example, the teacher encourages all students to aim high on a project but also helps them by giving extra guidance or practice when needed. Proceed to the characteristics of culturally responsive teaching. So first, teacher as facilitator, student-centered instruction, and sharing cultures. First is teacher as facilitator. Within an active teaching environment, the teacher's role is one of guide, mediator, and knowledgeable consultant, as well as instructing with a smile. Teachers should develop a learning environment that is relevant to and reflective of their students' social, cultural, and linguistic experiences. Culturally responsive teaching, the teacher acts as a guide rather than just someone who gives information. They help students explore, ask questions, and learn in ways that connect to their own lives and culture. So the teacher also creates a classroom that reflects students' social, cultural, and language backgrounds, making the learning more meaningful and engaging. The second one is student-centered instruction. Differs from the traditional teacher-centered instruction, learning is cooperative, collaborative, and community-oriented. Students are encouraged to direct their own learning and to work with other students on research projects and assignments that are both culturally and socially relevant to them. Students become self confident, self directed, and proactive. So, student centered instruction puts students at the center of learning instead of the teacher. So, students work together, make decisions about their learning, and explore topics that relate to their culture and life. So, this approach helps them become more confident, independent, and active learners. So the third one is sharing cultures. Teach students to know and praise their own and teachers' cultural heritage. Multiculturally sensitive education does not solely prescribe to mainstream ways of knowing. So teachers make authentic knowledge about different ethnic groups accessible to students. So teaching students about different cultures help them appreciate their own heritage and respect others. So multicultural education goes beyond just mainstream ideas, giving students real knowledge about various ethnic groups. So overall, culturally responsive and teacher-centered teaching creates a learning environment where students feel valued, respected, and connected to their own culture. So by engaging collaboration, self-directed learning, and appreciation of diverse cultural backgrounds, students become more confident, socially aware, and motivated to succeed. So this approach not only improves academic outcomes but also prepares students to thrive in a diverse and interconnected world. That's all, and I hope you learned something for today's discussion.